Hey everyone, my name is FreeSnow, and today I'll be walking you through setting up Blish HUD for the first time. Remember that if you have any questions or need any further help, to reach out to us on our Discord channel, which I've linked down below. As you can see, I've got a copy of Blish HUD here that I've already downloaded, and I'm just going to go ahead and extract that out. You can extract Blish HUD anywhere that you'd like. It's a portable application, it doesn't require an installation. Once extracted, you can go ahead and launch Blish HUD from within the extracted directory. You can do this before or after having already launched Guild Wars 2, the order doesn't matter. You'll see the small Blish icon down here in the bottom right indicating that we're now running, and right clicking on it will give us a couple of options. If this is your first time launching Blish HUD, it will not have had a chance to detect the path that your Guild Wars 2 install is at, and thus these two options here will be grayed out. But after your first launch of Guild Wars 2 performed manually, these two options will become available and let you launch Guild Wars 2 using the Blish HUD application in your tray area. We can just double click on this here to go ahead and launch the game. Once in, you should already see the little Blish HUD icon showing up in the top left corner along with your other Guild Wars 2 menu icons. And once you're in game, you'll see it snap next to the rest of your menu icons as if it was one of them. Clicking on this icon will bring up the Blish HUD main window. From this main window, you can see that we've got access to the overlay settings, such as the language that Blish HUD will run in. We can set settings regarding if it shows in the taskbar or not. Settings regarding how we handle volume. We can either match the game's audio or you can specify your own. And then your graphic settings such as your frame limiter, VSync, and DPI scaling. Next we have the module repo. Unlike some other overlays, Blish HUD is an overlay framework. That is to say that we don't have any real features of our own until you've installed a few modules. Modules are community created, essentially plugins for Blish HUD that add those features in. We'll go ahead and download a couple of these, that way you can get an idea of what I mean. The modules listed here are part of our community repository. These modules are submitted by our community members and are made accessible to you through the Blish HUD UI. If there are future updates for any of these modules, you'll be given the option to update those modules as well as install any new ones that get added to the repo later on. Now that we've got a couple of these installed, you can open up Manage Modules. So to start, we'll just look at our distance ring module here, made by a community member. Once enabled, you can see in-game that I now have one of those distance rings around me, as you might have seen in other overlays such as Taco. And we can of course modify some of the settings for this module, including the radius, our individual ring opacities, and the color of those rings. Next we have our universal search module, a module that's been built by the main Blish HUD team and which has been maintained by the community. Upon enabling, you'll see a new icon up in the top left next to our other Blish HUD icon. Once clicked on, we'll have a new window which we can then type in the name of any waypoint, vista, etc. and get a quick reference to the waypoint itself. So left clicking on it here, you can see it's copied it to my clipboard, and when I enter it in, we've got Jagged Itzel waypoint here that I can easily get to now. Our final example module is the pathing module. This module adds features for loading marker packs like you might have seen from Tekit's workshop, from Reactive, and from other community members. You'll see here on the left that this module has a few API permissions that it requests. As the checkboxes are toggleable, you'll see that they are in fact optional. And mousing over them will let you know why the module is requesting those API permissions. Once enabled, any permissions that you grant it will be given to the module to use if you've added your API key. We'll get more in depth with the pathing module in a different video, but for this video here, we'll go ahead and show managing your API keys so that way Blish HUD can access the web API and pull details about your character, account, etc., which modules can take advantage of to provide all sorts of functionality. Clicking the Manage Applications button here will open up the ArenaNet Account Applications Management page, which I've gone ahead and already opened up here. From here, we can click New Key. We can give it any name here. I'll call it Blish HUD. We do, at a minimum, require the account and character permissions in order to verify the key. For this key, we'll go ahead and give it all permissions and create that API key. And once created, we can click this copy button here on the right side and come over here and Control V to paste it in. You'll see here that my token has been validated and I can click register. And now my account information has been loaded. I can see the list of my characters here and the name of the token. If you'd like to use Blish HUD with multiple accounts, you can add an API token for each of those accounts. And when Blish HUD loads, it'll detect which account it needs to use based on your current character name in-game. We're really glad to have you try out Blish HUD and see what you think. If you've got any questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us in the Discord. Thanks.